Hello students, I Kamlesh Kumar. Welcome to all of you at my YouTube channel Social Science Academy. We are discussing the chapter The First War of Independence, that is 1857 revolt, in which we have discussed the difficult words, new terms, introduction of the chapter, various causes of the 1857 revolt. Then we have also discussed the course of the revolt, suppression of the revolt, and then failure of the revolt. Now we will see what were the outcomes, results of the 1857 revolt. So let us see. The rule of the East India Company ended with Queen Victoria's proclamation of November 1st, 1858. Means just after the revolt, the company rule came to an end. The company rule brought to an end, and all political matters of India was transferred to the British Queen, British Crown. So we can say that 1858 onwards, the Crown rule started on the place of the company rule. So she assumed the title of the Empress of India. So the British Crown took over the administration of India. As I said that from here the Crown rule started and company rule came to an end. Now in India, the British East India Company just remained a trading companies, not a political entity it was here. So a Secretary of State was appointed by the British Parliament to look after the governance of India with the help of council. Once on the behalf of this Empress of India, that is the British Crown, a Secretary of State was appointed to look after all administration political matters in India. The Governor General was given the title of Viceroy, the representative of the British Crown. Viceroy means the representative of the British Crown. So the British recognized the army to prevent any future revolts. The British reorganized the army to prevent any future revolts. As we have seen that the major revolt was led and participated by the Indian sepoys who were in the British army. So it was reorganized. The grievances of the soldiers were brought to minimum level. So the policy of ruthless conquest and annexation of Indian territories was given. So all these things were already a political cause we have already discussed. So all those things which became the cause of the 1857 revolt, they were discussed and they were brought to an end. The Indian princes were given the assurance that their estates would not be annexed and were granted the right of adoption. As we have seen, the doctrine of lapse. Do you remember that? What was the situation? Doctrine of lapse. So Indian princes were in fear that their state could be annexed at any time, and that became one of the reasons for the revolt. Full religious freedom was guaranteed to the Indians. It was one of the social and religious cause, so it was also compromised. They were also given the assurance that high post would be given to them without any discrimination. So as we have seen in the military causes that there were discrimination, that on the same post if Europeans are there and on the same post Indians are there, the Europeans were getting the high salary in comparison to the Indian fellow soldiers. So by the end of 1859, British authority in India was fully re-established. But the revolt proved to be the first great struggle for freedom. It became a source of inspiration for the later freedom struggles, and its heroes became household names in the country. So this became a very, very popular moment and source of inspiration for the upcoming freedom struggle for India. So that's all in this video. This is the second last video of the chapter. Main content of the chapter are over. In the next video, we will discuss with the question answer of the same chapter. Thanks. If you are liking my videos, please smash on like button and subscribe my channel so that it will boost my confidence to bring new videos for you. Thanks. Have a nice day. Keep watching.